Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. If I'm super soft-spoken in today's video, it is because I got up at 5 a.m. to film this video so I can get it up the same exact day. But I live in an apartment, so I'm not really trying to be too loud. So that is why I'm speaking super soft. Anyways, good afternoon, everyone. Currently it's morning, but good afternoon, good night, good morning. I'm not really sure what time you're watching this. Hello, and welcome back to my channel. It's your girl, your sister, your best friend, Chloe Yasmin, the hygiene queen, back at it with another hygiene video. And in today's video, I am going to be doing the highly requested bath routine. Y'all know I rave about baths. I talk about baths all the time. I love baths ever since my mama put me onto baths, okay? Because my mama is old school. She grew up on just baths. So ever since she put me onto baths, girl, I have not gone back. And I've been telling y'all how much I love baths, why I love baths, what baths do for me, and why they're so important. So with that being said, I'm not gonna hold y'all no longer. I'm trying to make this video, you know, decently short and straight to the point. So girl, let's get into it. I do want to go ahead and answer the question on why baths are so important for hygiene. Why baths are so important for hygiene is because number one, you smell so much better when you take a bath, and you also smell better for longer. Soaking in a nice hot or warm bath really helps to eliminate all odors for a very long time, as well as keep you smelling fresh and good. Now why that is because it allows water to soak in certain places that we can't reach. The places that make the odor come back faster, those places are being soaked, so you smell so much better for so much longer, and you won't know until you try it, girl. Oh my gosh, baths. And then I'm gonna go ahead and answer the question, how often should you bathe? They are time consuming, so it's like not an everyday thing. Girl, if I had the time, I would bathe every single day. But I would definitely say 1 to 2 times a week, especially for us females, because we have our lady bits and we really need to be soaking our lady bits because it's very important when it comes down to feminine hygiene. So overall, you should definitely bathe 1 to 2 times a week, and they're very important because they keep the odor gone, okay, with minimal effort. So if you're struggling with behind odor, you scrub, and you just feel like you're just not as fresh as you want to be. Same thing for downstairs with our lady bits. If you are struggling with odor and you've tried absolutely everything and you cannot get rid of the odor with just a shower, and you just keep scrubbing, you need to take baths. Baths are the only way. I got onto baths in the first place because when you don't use enough soap to clean your behind, it can get real irritated and raw. So I did that. So I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm not able to clean my body, and I was getting a little bit frustrated because I want to be able to clean back there, but I can't because it might just start bleeding. So I was talking to my mom about it, and she was like, girl, take a bath. The soaking basically does all the work, and you just got to go in with your hand or whatever the heck and be real gentle back there, and the odor is gone. Because when you're soaking, especially in hot water, we'll get to that, there's no room for odor. So baths are especially for if you're struggling with behind or downstairs odor. Now let's get into the routine. The first step to my bath routine is cleaning my bath. Girl, my mama is the reason why I do not play about a nasty bathtub. Every single time before my mom took a bath, she always taught me, clean out that bathtub, bleach it down, Lysol it down. I prefer bleach so I know it's real clean, and then rinse it real thoroughly. Rinse it good so you ain't got none of the cleaning products in your bath water. So go ahead and scrub your bathtub out, baby. Scrub it out, especially if you live in a home with other people, because honey, all of their germs is in that bathtub, and you gonna soak your lady bits? Girl, no, we ain't doing that. Sorry y'all, I had to go get some water. My mouth getting real dry. The second thing I do is obviously fill my bathtub up with warm to hot water. The hotter, the better. The hotter the water, the better you're gonna smell, the less odor you're going to have. Hot water truly eliminates odor, and it makes you smell so good. So whatever your tolerance is for the heat, go as hot as you can possibly tolerate. Now I'm not talking about no scorching, burning hot, but I think we all know what hot water is. So the hotter, the better, because that is one of the main keys to removing and also conquering odor, okay? Soaking in some hot water. If you can only do warm, just do your warm, girl. It's better than nothing, okay? If y'all see me looking down, y'all know I be printing stuff off nowadays, so I got my whole little routine on these papers. The third step I do, depending on the day, is I go ahead and add all my little extras, such as bubble bath. I don't really count that as an extra. I feel like that's a little bit mandatory. And I always use my Mr. Bubble bath because this is dye-in, fragrance-free. This has no fragrance in it, and I really suggest using this one right here, ladies, because we cannot be soaking in a bunch of fragrance. It's not good for our downstairs area, and it can knock our pH balance off, which can lead to all kind of things that we don't even want to get into at this point. I'm pretty sure we're all familiar with what can happen if you're using the wrong products downstairs. It can make you smell 10 times worse. So I love this extra gentle Mr. Bubbles bubble bath because it has zero fragrance, zero dyes. It's not going to irritate you, girl, and it gets bubbly up in there. I love me a nice bubbly bath. And then you can also go ahead and add in your apple cider vinegar, your bath bombs, your Epsom salt, whatever the heck you want to go ahead and add, just not too much of anything, not even a bubble bath, okay? I love me a little bit of ACV, which is apple cider vinegar, to go ahead and keep my feminine area balanced. I rarely ever use bath bombs, but those are super fun sometimes. And then sometimes I'll go ahead and use a little bit of bath salt. But realistically, all you really need to take a good bath is the bubble bath. And then if you're struggling with like your pH balance and like your feminine health, ACV. Then I'll go ahead and light me a nice little candle. I suggest like a 3-wick candle because it brings more light. And I use the candle as my light. And the candle just really sets the mood for me, y'all. It makes the bathroom smell super good. It's a nice little candle lit vibe going on. Yes, ma'am. The only thing with using the candle as your light is when you're shaving, you need to be very careful because of course it's dim. So just be very light and slow while you're shaving. Then of course I go ahead and hop my butt up in that bathtub. I sit down. Now, honestly, one of my favorite things to do to just make sure that when I get out, my lady bits are extra fresh and my behind and stuff like that, I go ahead and I kind of turn sideways. You know how like a bathtub is like this? You got the nozzle right here. I turn this way and kind of open up my legs like a butterfly a little bit so that the water is able to soak in my downstairs area and get it all fresh. Just to make sure that I am thoroughly soaking my downstairs area, I find that it really helps in my bath routine when it comes down to making sure odor ain't coming back, I'm stepping out smelling fresh, and you're behind. So you kind of open up those areas so that the water has more access and it can soak in areas that we usually cannot reach. So that's what I do, and I always, you cannot skip this step. This step is the most time consuming and it's the most vital step in this routine. You need to soak for 10 to 15 minutes. Girl, I'll be putting me on a stopwatch or a timer. If I haven't hit that 10 to 15 minute mark, girl, I'm not gonna start cleaning my body. You need to soak for 10 to 15 minutes. When I tell y'all, that is the key to no odor. Soak up in that hot water, girl. 10 to 15 minutes. I used to say 20, but now I say 10 to 15. If you're running short on time, 10 minutes. If you're not, 15. And if you can go longer, go ahead with your bad self. Once again, I be setting a timer to ensure that I've been in there for a good amount of time soaking. Now it's time to go ahead and get into the good stuff, cleaning our body. Okay, so I go ahead and get me a washcloth. All right, now you can use a bar soap or a body wash. Girl, I be using both some days, or I use just one day and then one the other day. So honestly, who cares? But I go ahead and I wash my underarms first. So at this point, I'm still sitting down in the bathtub. I go ahead and I get my soap. All right, you get your soap, get your washcloth. I always put the washcloth in the water, of course. Soak the bar soap just a little bit, get it a little softer. Put it in your washcloth and go back and forth. All right, go back and forth. Get it real soapy as you can. Put the bar soap back and start cleaning your underarms. Okay, start cleaning those underarms for a good amount of time, y'all. I spend a good amount of time when it comes down to washing my underarms. I spend a lot of time, like 35 to 45 seconds for each underarm. I don't play that. And I have really sensitive underarms, so I always make sure I have a lot of soap on my washcloth before I even start cleansing my underarms, because y'all know my trick. We don't want washcloth to skin, we want soap to skin. So we gotta have a nice thick layer on that washcloth so the washcloth isn't just rubbing at our skin and making it raw. You're gonna have a good amount of soap, and that's very important when it comes down to sensitive underarms or your behind. If you know, you know. Don't scrub way too hard back there, feel it ripping and junk. Ooh. I'm sure my position keeps changing, y'all. I'm so thirsty this morning, y'all. My mouth is so dry. It's like so crazy. All my lipstick finna be off, girl. Anyways, back to business. Now, when it comes down to taking baths, on your bath days, I do not suggest using heavily fragranced and heavily perfumed body washes. I don't suggest no Bath and Body Works. I used to, girl, not no more. So personally for me, on my bath days, I like to always use Dove. Honestly, it doesn't really matter what Dove body wash it is. I found that no Dove body washes irritate my downstairs area when I'm bathing with them. This is the Dove Sensitive Skin one. So this one is fragrance free. I do really like this one, but I do prefer the other Dove body washes because they make me smell 10 times better, girl. But I always use a Dove body wash on those days. So I'll either use a Dove bar soap, an Olay bar soap, something like that, or a Dove body wash. So good amount. Once again, I clean my underarms real good. Go over them for about 35 to 45 seconds. Once again, no heavily fragranced body washes that can really irritate you severely downstairs. Just soaking in body wash, you know what I mean? Then I go ahead and rinse my underarms off. I just use the same washcloth. I hope y'all ain't seeing my hairy armpits. I ain't shaved my armpits in a minute. Anyway, I go ahead and I rinse off my underarms, okay? Get them all rinsed off. Make sure that washcloth is rinsed off real good. And now you are going to begin cleansing your body. So I'm gonna go ahead and just use the body wash for my example. I put a good amount of soap on there, okay? I have learned that the more soap and the more time and the hotter the water you use on your body, odor ain't gonna be no issue, okay? So I put a good amount of body wash, all right? And I get to cleaning my body. At this point, I stand up just to make sure I'm getting every part of my body. So I'm going everywhere. Please take your time and work the smell of the soap onto your skin. Take your time. Girl, I don't care if it's 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Take your time and wash your body. Detail is key. Detail is key. Behind the ears, on the neck, everywhere. I never wash my behind in this process. That's a whole nother routine later on down the line. Right now, I'm just focusing on my body, not my private areas. So you just wash yourself. Work that smell of the soap into your skin. Realistically, you're not gonna walk out of the bath smelling like a bottle of body wash. You're just not. But you can walk out with a nice little light fragrance of that body wash. So take your time on your body, wash it up real good. Take your time and use a washcloth. Washcloths will top any loofah, anything, any day. With washcloths, it's like you're fully in control and you can seriously and thoroughly cleanse your body how you can't with a loofah or anything else. Girl, I grew up using loofahs, and when I tell you, I used to struggle so bad with hygiene, and I was like, what the heck is going on? Like, I'm scrubbing up. I needed a washcloth. It's like a loofah just gets you surface level, and this gets you beyond the surface. There's only so much you can do with a loofah. Anyways, back to what I was saying. You're gonna go ahead and thoroughly cleanse your body twice. Not one time, twice. So you're gonna go ahead and repeat that routine. Repeat that step. You can step out of the bathtub, smell okay, and then a little time later, you back to smelling funky. And that's because detail is key. We have to really focus and go over areas, especially our problem areas. Now, of course, after the first cleanse, you're gonna go ahead and rinse your body. And of course, after the second cleanse, I didn't mention that, but go ahead, sit back down, rinse your body off with that water, rinse your whole entire body off, no suds or soapiness on ya. Now we're gonna go ahead and move on to cleaning our behind. Now, I do have plenty of videos on how to thoroughly cleanse your behind, but they're not really for the bath. So we're gonna go ahead and talk about how I cleanse my behind when I bathe. So obviously we soak, so we don't really have too much odor back there anymore. Now we're gonna go ahead and squat or bend over. Now with squatting, you're kind of getting up out of the bath water, and with bending over, I suggest still having your knees in the bath water and just bending over in the bath water. You can do that or you can stand up, but I suggest squatting or bending over because that way you will have more access to the behind and the actual butthole. If you're here to be immature, you might want to go ahead and click off because I am going to be saying what I gotta say. So you'll have more access to the actual butthole, which is where the odor is usually held. So you're gonna want to go ahead and squat or bend over. You're of course gonna want to go ahead and use your washcloth and your soap of choice. I just always suggest Dove because when it comes down to cleansing your behind, it's very important not to have rag to skin. What that means is, you know how if you are washing your behind and you're going back and forth, you can feel like the friction and it becomes irritated and you get that raw feeling? What prevents that is using a lot of soap, but using a lot of a nice thick, rich, moisturizing soap like Dove, so that it is soap to skin and not rag to skin irritating you. So you're gonna wanna go ahead and use a lot of soap, and I really do suggest Dove. It'll definitely save you in the long run from not being able to cleanse your behind, because there have been plenty of times I could not cleanse my behind before I knew about baths because I didn't use enough soap or I over scrubbed. But not using enough soap has happened to me many times. So I get my washcloth, okay, get a lot of soap up in there. Me personally, I prefer to bend over in the bathtub. So when I'm in the bathtub and I bend over, I got a lot of soap, I kind of work it back and forth, and then I go back and forth. You're gonna want to do that for about 30 to 45 seconds. When you're in the shower, it's about like a minute or so, a little bit over, but because we've soaked, we don't really have to do too much scrubbing. So you're gonna go ahead and get back there for about 30 seconds to 45 seconds, as long as you feel it's enough. Like if you know your body and you know that it's enough, I always suggest 45 to a minute. In the bathtub, it can be 30 to 45. But if you know you may need more or less, hey, you know what works for your body. I just work it in there, and I work it in for a long time. Then I go ahead, I rinse my washcloth off, and I'm squatting in the bathtub. I'm squatting like a little bit over the water. What am I talking about? I'm squatting in the water. So I squat in the water. So my behind is in the water as I'm squatting down. Then I use my hands. You're gonna wanna go ahead and use your fingers and rinse it. Just rinse it, go back and forth, rinse it, rinse it, rinse it, rinse it, rinse it. And repeat that 1 to 2 times. I suggest just 1 time because in the bathtub, you don't really have to do too much of that. But yes, go ahead and squat back in the water, rinse it out with the water that you're in, and repeat that. Now you're fresh, okay girl? Now we fresh. From here on out, I am no longer sitting in the bathtub. I'm gonna go ahead and start using products in a minute that are no good for my downstairs area. So once I did my last little rinse back there, there's no more sitting back down. Okay, I'm standing up. No more sitting back down. No more sitting back down. So we're gonna go ahead and start exfoliating, and of course you can use, you know, scrub of your choice. Today I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys the Lotion Company Sugar Scrub and the scent Baby Powder. I love this stuff, y'all. This stuff smells like a bag of gold, okay? And it works so well. It moisturizes as well as deeply exfoliates. Now, if you don't want it to deeply exfoliate, go ahead and leave a good amount of water on your skin. But if you want a more deeper exfoliating experience, you're gonna wanna go ahead and push the water off of your skin. The more water you push off of your skin, the drier your skin is, the more abrasive the scrub is gonna be. So you don't wanna take all the water off your skin, but you wanna go ahead and push a good amount of water off your skin. I just push it off. Push it off. Get a good amount of sugar scrub and then go back and forth. If you want it to be a nice light scrub, keep the water on there. More abrasive, less water, okay? So I go ahead, I give me a nice little sugar scrub. Okay, if I got long nails on, you know, but if not, I just scoop it. Go ahead, go back and forth, and I go all over my body and I work it in, work it in, work it in, work it in. I'm also working the smell of the body wash into my skin while I am exfoliating, okay? So I just go ahead and exfoliate my skin. This beautiful sugar scrub is on my Amazon storefront, so you can go ahead and check this out on my Amazon storefront. Smells amazing. I love the Lotion Company, y'all. Their ingredients are popping for sensitive skin. Go ahead and rinse your body off. I just kind of like scoop the water out of the bath and just rinse my whole entire body off, or I get my washcloth. Here it is. I get my washcloth, put it in the water, and just kind of squeeze it over my body, so I'm getting all of those little sugar granules off of my body. Now we're gonna go ahead and start shaving. Now shaving for me doesn't take too long, so this is when I start to drain the bathtub, because once I stop shaving, or once I'm done shaving, I'm gonna go ahead and start up the shower. So this is when I unplug the bathtub and I start putting on my shave gel and start shaving. So it doesn't really matter what shave gel you use, whatever you prefer. Y'all know I just use whatever. I be using body wash and conditioner. But here is the Skintimate Vanilla Sugar Shaving Gel. So I go ahead and I put a good amount of shaving gel all over my legs. Yes, ma'am. Grab my little razor. Yes, ma'am. And I begin shaving. Of course, you want to go ahead and put your leg up on the side of the bathtub, and then go ahead and start shaving up very slowly. Please go slow. Not too slow, but decently slow, because you can cut yourself, girl. I got pretty deep scarring on my ankles in certain places because when I was younger, I just went so fast. There was one time I was shaving my legs, okay? We didn't have much money, so we used to get like stuff donated to us and stuff like that. So this one church had gave us like these razors and stuff like that. Girl, I went to go shave my legs. You gotta be real careful with them cheap razors. Chunk of meat went straight down the drain. I washed it. I washed a chunk of meat from my leg. I still have a scar from it, and it was in like 6th grade. I washed a chunk of my meat from my leg. Go down the drain. Blood. I had never seen that much blood in my leg. So just be careful. So just go slow for me, girl. Go slow for me. Nice and careful and not too hard, especially if you're working with cheaper razors. You gotta be extra careful with those, okay? So just go ahead. I shave my legs, shave my armpits if needed. Rinse, rinse, rinse. Rinse, 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 rinse my legs, rinse my legs. And around this point is when the water is completely drained. Now I go ahead, I turn my actual shower on. I put the shower liner back in the bathtub, close the shower curtain, rinse my body off. Any excess scrub or any excess shaving cream, I just rinse, 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 rinse. Okay, any excess soap scum, just rinse your body. And then the last step is cleansing your lady bits. Now, why do I save this step for last? I'm not soaking my lady bits in no shaving cream, no body scrub, and no bunch of body washes and stuff. Girl, that ain't gonna happen. I done learned the hard way, and I don't suggest it for you either. Be very, very, very mindful of your downstairs area when you are bathing, okay? Because you're soaking in it. Water's drained. I'm rinsing my body. We got the shower going. I'm gonna go ahead and cleanse my lady bits. Y'all know I always, always, always suggest my Baby Dove hypoallergenic sensitive skincare. What I love about this is that it retains your moisture downstairs instead of stripping it. So y'all know I love my Baby Dove. So I go ahead, I grab my Baby Dove and I grab my baby washcloth and I begin cleansing my downstairs area. So of course you want to go ahead and get your baby washcloth all wet. I usually put about 5 to 6 pumps of Baby Dove. That may be excessive, but y'all know me. Then I put my leg on the side of the shower, I squat down a little bit, and then I just begin cleansing my downstairs area. I cleanse everything but the actual hole, okay? Everything else is okay externally. The inside of the lips and also the exterior part of the lips, I clean all of that, girl, for a good 30 seconds. I rinse and I repeat. Once I'm done with that, that is the end of your girl's bath routine. Now, if it's a day that I want to go ahead and wash my hair or wash my face in the shower, then I'll go ahead and do that before I cleanse my lady bits. So you can still wash your hair and stuff like that on bath day. It'll just have to be after you've bathed and you can take a shower. So yeah, y'all, it's nothing really special, but that is my bath routine. Remember, the hotter the water, the better. The longer you soak, the better. No highly fragranced body washes. Use a washcloth. Detail is key. And don't sit back down in that water once you've exfoliated and shaved your legs, girl. Keep up out of that water, okay? Keep up out of that water. And that's your girl's bath routine. With that being said, that concludes today's video. I really enjoyed you guys' company, and I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you try my routine, let me know how y'all like it. I'm not gonna lie, I had a very hard time filming today's video because Accutane is drying my whole body out, and trying to talk and my mouth is dry, girl, it is so hard. But I did it. So if I was talking funny, that is why. I had to re-say things a million times. But like I said, that concludes today's video. I love every single one of you guys. God bless you all in Jesus' name. And it's time for your girl to go.